Hello, everyone. This is Scott, and this is Alvina, uh, one of our council members. She is very shy, so please be patient. And she wanted to come on and tell you eventually why she wanted to join Canoe Nation. If you have any questions for her, she can't see them, so I will pause and ask her. Please share the video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. Share, invite everyone to our Facebook group, please, as much as possible. And yeah, let's have some fun this afternoon or this evening talking about Canoe Nation and what it means to people. Um, so, do you mind if I start there quickly, Alvina?
No.
Okay. So before I started Canoe Nation, I had a friend, an elder, a mentor named Joshua Lennings from British Columbia, and he came up to me. He said, "We're creating a new nation, a new First Nations nation." I said, "No, no, it's not possible, eh?" And here we are now, right? So eventually, after spending time and learning about a lot of the stuff, I realized that it was actually very possible. But yeah, my first response to everything is no, and then I come and look at stuff and I research it. But anyways, I one of the main creators of Canoe Nation. People have added stuff since we began, and the more questions people ask, the more we add to the program in a positive way. All right, Alvina, why did you join Canoe Nation?
I joined Canund Nation because I believe that the government is really treating people bad. Like, literally, it's sad what's going on. And people, we need to get together because they're not helping us. Like, I'll give you an example. I've lived in my hometown in Ebb and Flow, Manitoba all my life. I raised 6 children, and I'm 50 years old now. I've never gotten a new house here. I have never gotten any help. As of today, my 2 windows are broken in my home. I got pneumonia because of that, almost ended up in ICU. So yeah, it's hard, and
So
it's just
I do want to say
there's
though,
no jobs for the kids, no work.
okay.
And
I wanted to ask Alvina
we
though,
need
if you
community.
had a part-time job though, and were able to buy a place, would you have no problem with earning a place? It's just there's nothing available for work, right?
No, that's what I mean. There's no jobs.
Yeah. So
I've
sorry to
been
interrupt you.
maintaining my I've been maintaining my own home for a long time, and I don't even they give out special needs in the reserves, and some people don't get anything. There is like it's not only about me. There is a lot of people that the government, for one, is like assimilating us and maybe even poisoning us. Who knows? That's just my theory. But yeah, it's I joined Canoe Nation because I believe in community and I respect my elders, and I think my elders should be the ones that talk about things and who should get help and this and that, because there's a lot of favoritism across the reserves, and a lot of the reserves in Canada, the our own chief and council don't give us money. They use our money.
So you mean
So yeah,
that
that's
money
why.
that was so you mean money that was designated to go to the people, it doesn't end up at the people with the people, is what you're saying.
No, it doesn't. As a matter of fact, I last this last week we were supposed to be getting 300 a month for the COVID relief for people on welfare that live on the reserve. But apparently we were supposed to get 1,200 each. So we got 900 last week. And somebody who knew something in the band office maybe scared them or was going to say, tell on them. And then we got 300 more this week. So they did give it all to us for the first time. But like I said, that's what I mean. They got caught here. So we know for a fact that they don't give money that's like for the people in the community. The houses get money as well for upkeep. And some houses like mine, they won't pay for the broken windows. It was one my bedroom window. I had an accident. My daughter was mowing the lawn and it bust.
And how
That's
many
my
broken
bedroom
windows
window, and I can't stay there.
how many broken windows have you had in your entire time that you had a place in your community?
Pardon?
How many
I didn't hear you,
windows?
Scott.
Okay, how many windows have you had break in any community or any place that you've been in since as far back as you can remember?
Like my home?
Yes, that you were in charge of. Yes.
Well, this is my first home that I've been taking care of for myself. That there's two windows broken, and I can't, like, if it, not even fire alarms, nothing.
So
Safety, the taps are leaking. It's horrible. We're living in poverty condition.
and you wanted to join Canoe Nation because it's a good start to go somewhere else, right?
Because I want to live in a community. I want to stay in a community where people care about each other
That's
and
good.
everybody is treated fairly and the children are taken care of, not sent away.
Yeah, no, thanks to the new Bill C-15 Indigenous Act, 7.2 makes it so that way if our leaders are willing to protect us, no third party can actually remove our children from our homes anymore. So, in other words,
Yeah,
regular child abusers can't steal or kidnap our kids anymore.
yeah, I have a daughter, CFS lost. She would be 28 years old. I've been looking for her. I'm still looking for her. I repeatedly called the CFS in Ebb and Flow, and they're not helping me find her. I've lost her since she was 16 because I had an accident with my foot and I had a surgery and I ended up getting H1N1. So those years I was sick, I couldn't make visits with my daughter. And then
Yeah.
when she turned 18, she turned around, told CFS to, leave her alone forever. But
Yeah.
she left her number for me. She told them, can you give my number to me, to my mom?
Okay.
And I can't find her. The number they gave me wasn't even the right number, maybe. I don't know. They missed the
Well,
number. I don't know.
you also got to remember when someone starts out when they're 18, sometimes they go through 5 different phone numbers in the first 2 years or it's almost 20 because they can't afford the cell phone bill, but they didn't realize it until it was too late. And so then I did this too. You hop from one cell phone company to the next because you can't afford to pay the bill and you can't take the number with you. But you know what? Maybe she'll see the video someday. Who knows? But I mean, uh,
She's also deaf.
yeah. Well, I mean, we put you on the council there because, um, I see great potential in you. I mean, you're second in the head of your family, which if most people don't know how First Nations families work, is usually the oldest or lady is usually the in charge of the family, or traditionally, anyways. not always respected, but traditionally. And Alvina started getting a hold of me. This is probably right off the bat when I started doing videos for Canund Nation, starting to recruit. And at one point, because we started talking as friends too, and at one point she's like, "Oh no, no, just talk to my family, and we they'll be able to help you. I'm no use, right?" And she was in the hospital. She wasn't doing well, and so I stuck with her. I'm just like, well, no, I mean, I know you. We've been talking. I mean, she loved my videos. She shared them. I mean, everyone goes through a bad time, and it's how we pick ourselves up and make a difference is what makes us uh, better, right? I mean, we can sit there and keep going down the same
Well,
hole.
also,
I'm doing
Scott,
the same. Go
the
ahead.
reason why I'm saying this about my life is because
Yeah.
I'm basically saying I've been battered and abused by the government, my chief and council, and I'm tired of the way they treat the way the government everything is run. I don't think it's right.
Yeah. So, the now that you kind of give us a bit of history, what is the positive things other than just joining community that you like about Community Nation? And I mean, don't say
Well,
about my
for one,
community
it's a
either, right?
community.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's about community and family,
Absolutely.
working, earning your own place to live in. It's just about taking care of you and taking care of each other.
Absolutely. It's the system that we've created. It's different from a First Nations normal, but it's called modern tribalism. You don't. The government itself has no ability to make laws. Their job is to pay the bills and make sure everyone gets fed and all the resources are shared. Uh, to have a law put through any on the community level, someone has to suggest it and has to have 80% vote or higher. Each community can have their own different laws. I think that's awesome. So you move from one to the next, you have to agree to a new set of laws if they've changed, as long as it doesn't conflict with the Constitution or the Freedom Charter rights or people's personal rights too, right? But
Hmm.
yeah, it's great because a good example I always use with people is that say you didn't like working Mondays, and I said, okay, well, I'm going to go to the council and suggest we should not have to work Mondays. It should be a holiday. Every Monday should be a holiday, right? And so I go in and suggest that. Now, technically, that would infringe on people's rights to work on a Monday. So that maybe they could put it up so that way a vote for the possibility for anyone who doesn't want to work on a Monday to start on Tuesdays. So it's kind of not so much a law, but just kind of more of something to change. But again, the people just have to vote for that. Whatever they suggest, there's always it makes it so that way it comes down to the people being in charge of something instead of the other way around.
Well, definitely the elders have been forgotten, and they're wise. They know a lot, and they should be respected, put on a pedestal.
Well, yes and no. I mean, there there's a knowledge and stuff, and I've seen some First Nations ladies, they'll have like everyone's kids in like 30, 40, and they're taking care of and doing their best. Those are very strong leaders, but what we need to remember that we all have our part,
Exactly.
right? We all have our contribution. One shouldn't be higher than the other, if that makes sense. But we all have our place to be able to do something and participate and be part of a community, if that makes sense.
That's what I mean. That's why I say it's family and community to me, because the elders shouldn't be raising the grandbabies,
Well,
you
no,
know?
they shouldn't, and they end up doing that because our people with dealing with a foster care system and a lot of stuff have a lot of addiction problems, and there's addiction problems with any tribe, but not just First Nations. There's
Well,
many different.
yeah, any place.
Yeah,
The point I'm
like,
trying to make is that the children shouldn't be thrown at the grandparents. We can. What the thing about communation is that we're going to help the parents to do better if they need help, instead of taking the kids and not helping them, because that's what's happening
well,
everywhere,
hopefully
not
our new
only
system
on
will.
reserves.
Oh, absolutely. Sorry, we're getting a little bit of a delay here. Uh, our biggest thing is that if we could just have worst case scenario, someone the children go with family temporarily until mom and dad sort stuff out. I think that's huge. And if there's no family, there might be a few other maybe friends or relatives, or like maybe not direct family that in the community that could maybe watch the kids for a few nights and or some other
While
volunteers.
we help the
So
parents,
yeah,
that way
and
the parents can get their things together. Yeah, like there's
no,
a lot
exactly.
of
And
good
your
things
home is
with the
great.
new nation.
Go ahead.
A lot of good things about Canoe Nation. Now, that's not only that the elders should be respected and we will help them and take care of them, and that the children shouldn't be separated from family at all, and that we will have a fair and equal chance to have our home built and our own piece of land that we won't have to pay for. And if we can farm or stuff like that, we can give a little land. It's like there's so many good things about it.
No, absolutely. Like I was explaining in a video there earlier, what we have is what's called stewardship titles because our people traditionally believe that no one owns the land. So it's the title, whatever's on. You don't pay land tax, you don't pay sales tax. Everyone uh, has a what's called a 10% contribution fee. It is a tax, yes, but it doesn't go to the government. It goes to community fund where the roads are built, the schools are taken care of, and the medical facilities, and using natural medicine alongside stuff that can't be treated by medical or natural medicine will be the oil meds, unfortunately. But the point is that we as a people are able to move forward with natural medicine as well under the Bill C-15 Indigenous Act, and they can't take that away from us. They have, but the bright side is a lot of people secretly have kept that in tradition and knowledge and shown everyone. There's so much in the nature that can help us with a lot of things. The problem is the moment these big pharma get a hold of it, they end up taking it and destroying it, and whatever it was, they either make it addictive, they make it something similar to that, so that way people have to keep taking their products. So, like a good thing
Yeah.
like aspirin, for example, that comes naturally, but they add something in it so that way it relieves your headache, but it'll actually cause more headaches if you're taking too much of it. So,
Oh, yeah, the doctors, like, they don't really examine you anymore. I noticed in the past few years, when you go see a doctor, you tell them what's wrong, they'll be like, oh, yeah, 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 and they'll just give you a prescription of narcotics.
well, yeah, that's and then you try to get antibiotics, and they act like you're a drug addict. I'm not kidding. I've
Or if you go
had
into
a
the emergency room, it's very obvious that they treat people like that, because I have been treated like that myself, had to argue with the doctors, and then they finally believed me.
no,
Well, my
absolutely,
doctor, I don't know, like, my doctor doesn't help me basically anymore. I got a
and
lot of medical problems,
you're not alone.
and that's another thing. I don't have security here. That's why I'm joining Canoe Nation, because the security I'll have there is, while I'm well enough, I want to try and earn that's 2 years, I'll earn my own cabin, and I want to, that way I'll know I have security. I won't be homeless in the street. I'll have a cabin to live in.
No, absolutely. I know one thing about you, Alvina. If you were given that window and a drill, I'm pretty sure you would have figured out how to fix the window. But no one will even give you a window to be able to fix your window in your house. It's just so most people don't realize that all the maintenance and upkeep is supposed to be overseen by the chief and council, and then a lot of people become too dependent on it, and then when that happens, then stuff gets stretched thin, and people don't get taken care of. And then if they don't like your side of the family on the reserve, then that stuff just doesn't happen at all. So let's hope we can break that cycle with, this family or that family. Let's just all come together as one people and make a difference and change for the positive.
Exactly.
So yeah, any other questions there that Alvina, like, I mean, you're council member now, like, you oversee people come in, you're also on the Grand Council as well. You're about as the same authority as I am, just don't ask for my bank account. No. Anyways, I could just make a joke. But no, in serious though, you are the same level as me, right? And I know everyone kind of looks at me like, oh yeah, he's just one guy, right? And that's why I love bringing people on the show that are actually part of the organization. And yes, the stories aren't always the best. Sometimes people get nervous, and that's okay. When you're doing the first time or first couple times on here, I don't expect anyone to be perfect. But I mean, I'm hoping we can definitely keep doing this and talking about it as we keep going. And hopefully we can get better on not interrupting people or each other by accident. So, like I said, there's a bit of a delay,
eh? And plus, you only sprung this on me. You didn't give me time, so I'm kind of nervous, and I'm babbling.
Sometimes it's the best at last minute, but like last couple weeks, you've been asking me, "Hey Scott, is there any chance I could come on with you?" And I say, "Yeah, that'd be great." And then you ask me again, "Yeah, absolutely, that'd be great." And then we'd forget about it when the time goes, and so that's kind of why it's. I was like, "Hey, why don't I get her on the show tonight?" Like, even though I'd normally do I only one show a day, I'm like, you know what? I'll do a show for Alvina here.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you,
Alvina, you
Scott.
said you have how many kids?
6.
Wow, that must have kept you busy, eh?
And 6 grandchildren.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
And
can
I
see it
was
being a mother, but you don't look
a
old enough to be
single mother.
Yeah. You don't
Pardon
look
me?
old enough to be a grandma. You don't look old enough to be a cookum.
Yeah, I got 6 beautiful grandchildren as well.
Oh, that's cool. That must be always nice.
And I know.
Go ahead.
Makes me feel good when I get to Canoe Nation. I'm really hoping my children will follow.
Well, if anything,
And my
I know
family
about
members, some of them. My sisters are also members on Canoe Nation. A couple of them, I believe.
Oh, absolutely. They your 2 sisters are, and the one that's the head of your family there, I've met her, talked to her. She's very nice. I don't think I've talked much with the other one there. But she looks like someone you don't want to mess with, though. I'll tell you that, eh? But very pretty though. Very pretty though. So, anyways, yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff that's happened over the past, I would say 6 months, but we didn't really start recruiting until what, September. And yeah, it's been almost September since you've been part of Canute Nation, right? And then we didn't get you actually to
It's
sign up until about a
amazing
month
that,
ago.
yeah. It's amazing that people are now jumping on with us because this is really important. I really believe in this, that we can do this, and it will be beneficial and beautiful for the children and our future grandchildren that aren't born yet.
Well, no, absolutely. We're doing this so that way our children and their children will have a much better uh, childhood, hopefully, and never know the poverty that we've known. They never know the in-house
Oh, yeah.
fighting, having to fight for scraps. They purposely keep the reses very underfunded, so that way they everyone's sitting there fighting for scraps or for food or for each other for one thing or another. Like because they've done studies through the years that generations that knowing that if you starve a population out, they'll start fighting each other because they're cranky, right? When you don't get enough food, your blood
Yeah.
sugar is low and more people are willing to fight, and then they get involved pretending to act like they're doing you a favor when they're really not.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's part of their divide and
We
conquer.
really,
But we're going to show them how uniting and building works. And of course, the North will always provide, and that's what is great about it. So,
mm-hmm.
so do you have any and yeah, I think this is good for the first time. We'll close this up with a video. Do you want to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
All right. Thank you, everyone. God bless, and may the Creator be with you.
God bless.
Heart is the center of our gravity. Home is not a privilege that is granted by Her Majesty. A home is our right, a place to raise our family. Home is where we go for tranquility and sanctity. Home is where we feel at peace and we can have some privacy, where I can voice my thoughts and nobody tries to silence me. Home is where commotion turns to settling dust. Home is where we raise our kids to be better than us. And home is more than just a house. Home is where there's unity. Home is where we gather. Home is our communities. Home is the connection that we share when we trust. Home is not about me. Home is about us. Home is the guiding light within that we feel drawn to. Home is the source of our creation we belong to. Let them try with their lives meant to pull us apart. We always find our way home cause we know it by heart.
All these long and lonely roads, they wind and bend, they find me friends, they lead me home. And I know no matter where I roam, I'm watching love from high above, I'm not alone.
Home is our cities, our states and our countries. Home is the earth below, the sky above me. Home is the truth we instinctively know, helping us to find home everywhere that we go. But there's many false prophets trying to lead us astray, who wanna tell us what to do but not hear what we say. They ignore us while they play their game of righteous pretend, like we don't notice that their rules ain't applying to them. While our children have lost their future, made to cover up their faces, forced to get injections for attendance at their favorite places. Where does it end? When we take to the streets, the government won't call a hearing, they just call the police. And to the faceless stormtroopers, where is your humanity? Just following orders is no excuse for your insanity. It's time to cut the rod out at the source like a cavity. It's time to go home and realize that we're a
All
family.
these long and lonely roads, they wind and bend, they find me friends, they lead me home. And I know no matter where I roam, I'm watching love from high above, I'm not alone.
Recognize this country country? Is this the way you like to live? Constantly harassed to put a mask upon your wife and kids. Cops with riot packs who like to act as if no rights exist. Alive, but we're not really living. What kind of life is this? A world that's full of risks, but we don't need protection, cause all of their solutions are much worse than the infection. If we want resolution, we need unity, not politics. Why should we trust somebody who's broken so many promises? But maybe this was meant to be and had to happen all along. The cycle's always spinning and it's darkest right before the dawn. It's funny, to the point of laughing out loud, cause what they said would never happen, well it's happening now. And so many are waking up. Welcome to the front lines. The ones who know behind the clouds will always be the sunshine. You and I see through the lies, no longer alone, and let the compass in our souls guide and carry us home.
All these long and lonely roads, they wind and bend, they find me friends, they lead me home. And I know, no matter where I roam, I'm watching love